Hello there, elaborating on what I've seen as far as what the schedule shows so far in the NFL without actually really watching any games so far. Um, I've decided not to watch football if the integrity is out the door. I believe, in saying how the Bible, let's say biblically, the Bible says God doesn't look at evil, people doing evil stuff. I think it's a metaphor, meaning that we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do and move away. So not, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to look away from NFL or not watch it or anything like that. I just have to mind my own business and move along and not be evil myself. Not do anything cheap, low down, dirty to other people. So it's a metaphor, meaning that I need to stay on task with what I'm doing and sort of ignore what's going on in the hype. If people want to be dirty, well, that's great. But from my perspective here, sitting here, I see that I heard earlier that there's a lot of teams right now that are 0-2. Seattle is 0-2. So the only thing I could hope for them is that they become the Road Warrior like the Giants have done in the past, and they become the new Road Warriors. And I've had this thought on my brain for a while now, hoping that at some point in time, the Seattle Seahawks, the team that I favor the most in the NFL, would get it together. And they would come together as a team. They'd form a Cyclops or whatever the heck you want to call it, the beastiest monster, and just don't take no crap from anybody and no make no excuses. Get out there and win every single game, even if they're away games in the playoffs. Is what I want to see them is help bring back some of the integrity by challenging with intensity. I want to see them um, prevail and be able to challenge all odds against them. Maybe in that position later on down the road. Heck, it's still week 3, so it's early. Other reports coming in that I just heard that Jimmy Graham is not happy with his role there. So I have to go and read that in particular and figure out exactly what that's all about. Again, not watching any games. I live on the East Coast, and they don't give me. I live in Jacksonville, and they give me Jaguar games, but I can't personally watch those. I will try. I put on this thing here. It's called Television Fanatic by My Way, and it's got a live sports uh, thing over there on there. One of the buttons I can push to try to look up sports, but it basically only shows NBA, and it's got ESPN, which I can look up ESPN through the live stream internet channeling that I get from the cable company, Xfinity or Comcast or whatever. Um, Gives me the ability to watch ESPN on their live stream, but I don't get all the regular channels. They haven't made it that readily available to be able to um, get those channels that preview the NFL. Like if I was to go watch it on the TV out in the living room or whatever, I spend most of my time away from there, and I don't have a TV in my living room. And if I wanted to, I could go put a TV in there and I could watch in there if I want to, but I preferred not to. And um, I'm comfortable just listening and hearing the updates for the NFL, anyways. I don't I don't think I necessarily need to watch the games. I can just read the reports and see what's going on. So I hear somebody reported back to Seahawks training camp. Thanks for reporting back, dude. Appreciate it. So I just wanted to say one last thing, that they're talking about they're taking the wind out of all of the backups. There's a bunch of backups that are coming in for the starters right now, and later on at some point some other quarterbacks could get injured in situations, and then their backups have to come in, like Brandon Weeden and these other backup quarterbacks. I think that they're not given enough credit. I think that they're there for a reason, and I think that they all have an opportunity to shine. Just like the recent commercial that showed Luke McCown on it, and it's saying that he doesn't know why backups couldn't shine whenever they get their moment. But it's true that I have until they lose it and they prove that they are not up to par to even being a quarterback in the NFL. I have confidence in all the backups that come up, for Tony Romo and whoever else gets injured. And I'm not supporting the Cowboys in any way. I just believe that the backups need to be given more credit than that. I thought that it was a uh, kind of a bad deal when DeMarco Murray was a staple of the Cowboys offense in their franchise, and then to have them sever the connection between him and them. It was like what they did to with Emmitt Smith, but they at least utilized Emmitt Smith for Emmitt Smith's career, and Emmitt maybe should have retired instead of moving on to another team. Maybe he should have just retired a Cowboy when the Cowboys were going to release him, and it should have went down that way. But I don't know that if there was bad blood with DeMarco Murray and the Cowboys or what the deal was there. All I know is he's gone and he plays for their rival, and they couldn't do anything about that and stop him from playing one of their division opponents. So me in particular, if I was to lose a player or trade a player, I would hope that the player would go to a team that would have the less chances of being able to come back on me in particular. But I guess that's another story for another day. So the explanation for will there be Road Warrior team in the Super Bowl, I just wanted to let people know that it is very possible that it could also be a backup. Maybe backup plays a backup role, gets them into the position where their quarterback comes back off of an injury and is back in time to go and be a road warrior. Remember, the Steelers did it in Super Bowl 40 against the Seahawks. They were a whatever. I think that they went to every opponent in the playoffs and then went and won Super Bowl 40. So still probably about a 750 team maybe at the time. We'd have to look at what their actual record was, but they won the whole shebang. So obviously it's too far out of the question, or too far out of me, whatever, if I'm trying to get another team to go undefeated all the way and win a Super Bowl undefeated. Looks like I'm just asking for trouble trying to ask that out of the Seahawks, which I think are having some identity problems right now and other things making them not very excitable to watch. You got to remember that the NFL is a huge business, and business is made or broken on the entertainment aspect when it comes down to it. So, where's that energy and where is that excitement? Well, it's not there right now. So, I'm also hoping that the Seattle Seahawks put some together and bring that electrifying feeling and experience from a fan's perspective. Even if I were to be watching it on TV, where is it? I want it back. I want the 50 burgers, you know. And before I was happy with them, you know, only winning 5 to 7 games before. They were my Seattle Seahawks team, you know, and that was after them going and losing in the Super Bowl. And still, even before that, I was happy to be a fan of theirs, regardless. But now they've spoiled me with the roster, okay, and where they've come to up to this point now, and I think that they are just going to be BSing me and their other fans until they get back to that dynamic style, especially on offense. I don't understand what's going on, why the offensive coordinator is having such a hard time also, but oh no, all I can do is hope and wish for them every year, like every other fan does with their team. But and it's not the Seahawks' fault for why I don't really feel like watching football right now. Okay, obviously I'm sitting here talking about it, so I don't want to sever myself completely away from them just yet. I wanted to let them know that it's not their fault. It would be more of somebody like situation of the Patriots' fault for why I would not want to watch the game and why I want to boycott the NFL myself. But I mean, it just seems like that. I'm not really boycotting the NFL. I just kind of want to separate myself and stay focused with my own integrity and my own honesty. So, still, at the end of every day, each person has to check their own self and who they are. And I'm not going to be a low down, dirty, cheating, scumbag liar. And if I can help it, I'm going to look away in a sense where it can take me away, in particular, from my frustration of what I see going on and not being able to really do anything about it. So there are things, obviously, maybe, you know, that's part of it. Not maybe, that is part of it. There's things that we can do with our spare time and we can change. So if I think that I can't, obviously I'm lying to myself. Um, and I just would rather focus on things that I can do something about. Thanks. Peace.